and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. And welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. And welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then. Don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run. So you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Film My Run on Zwift. My name is Stephen Cousins and we are broadcasting live around the world on Facebook, on twitch.tv, on Mixer and on YouTube. While we're getting everything set up, it would be absolutely awesome if you could go and subscribe to the Film My Run YouTube channel and also the Zwift Runs and Rides YouTube channel. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/FilmMyRun, on Twitter at FilmMyRun, and you can also go to the website, which is www.filmmyrun.com. It's very nearly time, so sit back, relax, and watch me do all the hard work. Morning everyone. Good morning Paul Carter. Good morning Matt Bates. How you doing guys? So this morning we are doing two things. We are doing an 8-kilometer run and I'm going to run flat for 2k and then I'm going to bump the elevation up to 12%, so full elevation. And Jonathan Costa reminds me that I need to put my heart rate on. Just remembered in time. And then we're going to go full elevation for 5 kilometers, maybe 4. We'll see how I feel. 4 or 5 kilometers, and then we're going to drop it back down again and do the final kilometer flat. And in those 8k, we will finish the chili pepper route today. So it's 8 kilometers of the chili pepper route. So no camera angles to make sure that I don't go off the wrong way. So So that's that. So I've already started. We're just slowly walking out the first 200 meters. Hello, Vidar. How are you? I've still got coffee. I'm drinking coffee. Cold outside. Sunny. Lovely and sunny, but pretty cold. I've got the doors open. No fan on as yet. I might turn the fan on later if I want to, if I need it. Just nice and slowly get into the run. So 8 kilometers. Not far really, but when you add in the elevation that we're going to do, we're going to bump it right up to 12%. We're going to do 500 meters of climbing. Had a really busy last couple of weekends of no running. I mean, although I've been doing running related things, I've not been able to run really at all properly. The National Running Show, I did run, but it wasn't proper weekend training. You know, the weekend you'd normally go out and do a long run. I think, Jonathan, I've got about 4 or 5 left to do, I think. Well, let's have a look, shall we? I'll carry on running. I don't know if I can carry on running while I'm doing this. Should be all right. Badges. I've done no cycling badges. Got all my running achievements, route achievements. Yeah, 5 left to do. So, Chili Pepper today, John's route, that's Amore, Flat Irons and Hudson Roll left to do. And Sorensen is getting his stride today. Excellent, Vidar. Look forward to seeing you using that. Can't wait. Be good to have you on board. Right, let's speed up a little bit. Just gradually increase the pace. Had a good run last night. Enjoyed speeding up and keeping ahead of Tim in the stage 6 of the Zwift, the Tour de Zwift. That was fun. Ankle is still a bit sore. It's not going away. It's just staying there like an annoying little niggle that is not now getting worse, but it's just still there. But I was able to get up to 20 kilometers per hour last night and just hold off Tim's challenge right at the end of the race. Started off very slowly and worked my way into it, and then eventually started actually racing. Okay, Story speeding past there, a decent 4.5 minutes per kilometre, and we've got H. Nicholas up ahead doing 3:17 per kilometre. Pretty impressive work. Always takes me a long time to get into these things. Okay, so Flat Irons is the longest one of the route achievement badges. So to get all the badges, the longest one I have to do is Flat Irons, which is about 9 miles. Just over 9 miles, isn't it? I would have thought. So that's not too bad. We'll get that done one day. So I think the Chili Pepper route, as its name suggests, chili, hot, it goes to the volcano. Vidal, yes, I hadn't planned on going at 20 kilometres per hour, but Tim knocked it up to 20 kilometres an hour, and he was only 1 or 2 seconds behind me. So I had no choice, really. I had to go to 20. But the good thing is, me and Tim both have the same treadmill. So I know that he can't go any faster than 20. So if I go to 20 and I'm ahead of him, then he's not going to catch me. So the last 200 metres at 20 was hard, but got it done. And he definitely was catching me all the way at the end there. So we had to knock it up to the full. Right, so here's 1 kilometre done. So let's go up to 10 kilometres per hour. Just relax into our day. Nice and easy. Into zone 2, the heart rate, 122, 123. And we'll start climbing in about 900 metres time. Slow right down to walking pace. So we'll go right down to 5 kilometres per hour. So Avatar will start walking and we'll start climbing. Matt says, I had a good circuit training session last night. A long time since I went to a proper circuits. It's a hard session. Especially when they get you doing planking. Plank for 30 seconds on your left hand side, plank for 30 seconds on your right hand side, plank for 30 seconds normal on both arms. Star jumps and all sorts. Not an easy session. So onto the roads, and we'll head out towards the volcano. Oh, so lots of squats, Matthew, yeah? Good morning, Vincent. He says, after watching your FootPod review, I bought myself a Ticker X, got bored, losing connection with a phone app and watch. Hope we can run together soon with my new setup. I hope so too, Vincent. Yeah, Ticker X is a very good heart rate monitor. It's not the best for speed, but it's okay. Matt says his circuits was weights, the squats, plank cycle, sit-ups. Yeah, all the usual stuff. Andrew Cutmore. Hello, Andrew. Right, Andrew Cutmore says he's getting 2 UTMB points for the ultra he's doing in March. So, right, well, do you know what UTMB... First of all, do you know what UTMB is? So UTMB is the Ultra Trail de Mont Blanc, and it is a running festival at the end of August every year, and there are various races, the longest of which is the full UTMB 100 mile race, so it's actually more than 100 miles. The full UTMB race is 100 or so miles. Then you've got its baby brother, which is the CCC, named after the towns that it visits, so Chamonix, Champay-Lac and Courmayeur, CCC. That's 100 kilometres. So those are the main two. And then there are races that have been added after that. So the one I'm doing this year is called TDS. Can't remember what TDS stands for, but anyway. That's 145 kilometres. And there are shorter races. The OCC is about 50 kilometres. And there's one monster race called the PTL, which you have to do in a team. So it's a team event. PTL is about now I can't remember. Is it 300 and something kilometres? And you have to qualify for these races. So you need to prove that you are able to do them, or able to at least attempt them realistically. Right, let's just slow down quickly. So you need to get points from other races. So some races offer you UTMB points, and depending on the number of points you accumulate, that tells you which race you are able to enter. Now I can't remember the exact number of points you need for each race. Suffice to say that you need the most number of points to get into UTMB itself. It's something like 12 points. You need 12 points to get into UTMB. And TDS is also high. And then slightly fewer points, like 8 points maybe, to get into CCC. And you get those points by going to different ultra races, different races around the world or around the UK that offer those points. It's quite a controversial topic actually, because a lot of race companies kind of are a bit angry that in order to offer these points they have to pay UTMB, the UTMB organisation, they have to pay them, and it's a bit controversial anyway. It's as though UTMB are kind of making this monopoly over trail running and trying to control everything. Anyway, that aside, you enter different races, you accumulate points at those races, and then you amass those points to create the number of points you need for the race that you want to enter. Once you've got those points, you enter into a ballot draw, to see if you can get into that race, and there is no guarantee that you'll get in. Even if you've got the points, there's no guarantee that you'll get in. Have I explained that well enough, Andrew? The other thing to do, of course, is to go to the UTMB website and have a look there. You can also go to the ITRA website, so the International Trail Running Association, which is affiliated with and pretty much owned by the UTMB organisation, and have a look there. If you type my name in, search for a runner on the ITRA website. I think it's itra.run, but I'm not sure. It's definitely not .com. Type my name in and you can see how many races I've done and how many points I got for each race. I think you can see that. Okay, so we're now climbing. So we're on 12% elevation, and the intention is to do 4 or 5 kilometers of climbing at 12% elevation, and then we finish off with 1 kilometer flat, just to chill out at the end and get the chili pepper route badge. So we are going on the volcano circuit, turning off in a minute. We'll be going over the sea and over to the volcano. So I'm just walking out again now, get to 2.5 kilometers, and then I'll start running again slowly up the hill. So Matthew and Jonathan having a good old chat about circuit sessions. Another sip of coffee.
Jack it up.
Jonathan's absolutely right. Going to things like circuit training and Pilates and things like that will definitely get you more flexible, and runners are notoriously inflexible. I am a perfect case, in fact, because I don't do enough Pilates, and I do have quite poor back health, and I am not very flexible. Good, Andrew. I'm glad that's glad that's sorted that for you. Right. 100 meters, and then I will start running a little bit. See, here we are, bringing people together on Zwift. It's a community-focused place. We help each other out, running advice, swapping stories. Helping each other out on Zwift. Live on the Film My Run Facebook page and the Zwift Live YouTube channel. So, I'm going to start running, speed it up to 5.5 kilometers per hour. The avatar will stay walking because the avatar won't run until we get to 6.8 kilometers per hour. And that won't happen until my last kilometre of elevation, because we'll slowly go up. Right, so 5.5 kilometres per hour, and we gently start running. So according to my clock, I'm going to finish this in about an hour's time, 59 minutes or so. But we will speed up, so it won't be much more than an hour. Just need to make sure that my ankle eases off, as it usually does. Heart rate is 121, so we've come down a bit. Nice and relaxed. Going through the tunnel, over the sea to the volcano, and we need to do another 4.5 kilometers of climbing. Matt is off. Go and do some bits around the house. Good luck. Good luck. You don't need luck for doing bits around the house. Enjoy yourself, Matt, with your housework. I have plenty of housework to do. Guaranteed it probably won't get done today. And Jonathan is going to bed. So Jonathan's going to bed, Matthew's going to do his housework. Thanks for the chat, guys. Take care, see you later. So, slow climb. 22 minutes gone. When we get to the other side of the bridge, or the tunnel, we'll be up at 3 kilometers done with 5 left to go in total. Vidar, on YouTube, yes. So on YouTube, you need 1,000 subscribers in order to make money from your videos. So my Film My Run channel is fine. That has about 5,500, 6,000 subscribers, so that's okay. But the channel that I broadcast my Zwift runs on is not there yet, about 600 subscribers, so not enough. But it's not a big deal, but it would be nice to get to 1,000 subscribers. Facebook is different. To earn money on Facebook, you need people to actually give you money. So there's things called stars. So if you enjoy a broadcast a lot and you feel inclined, you can buy stars to give to the broadcaster. And that's the way you make money on Facebook. But I mean, hardly anyone does that. Well, unless you're playing Minecraft or what's the other one? Fortnite. And people then tend to earn very well. Right, 2.8 kilometers done. And we are climbing nice and slowly, taking it easy. We're going to go up to 6 kilometers per hour when we get to 3 kilometers in. Remember, 12% elevation is the highest my treadmill will go. But 12% elevation for every kilometre I run, I climb 120 metres. So we're going to turn left when we get out of the tunnel. So from 3 kilometres, we go around the volcano. It's a pretty flat route in terms of Zwift. There's really no elevation at all on this route, so I'm having to make it up myself. Go around, hello to you, buddy. If you are, by the way, if anyone's giving me a ride on, thank you very much, but I haven't seen any. And that does sometimes happen. Again, there's a little bug, I think, in Zwift. And sometimes you don't see any ride-ons that you get. So into zone 4, it was 140 beats per minute. Oh, maybe that was just my cough that sent it up there. And now talking, we've got back up to 140. If I don't talk, it'll probably be a bit lower. Coming up to 3 kilometres done. 12% elevation, so that will be 120 metres climbed now. And we'll slightly speed up to 6 kilometres per hour. There we go. So it brings the finish time down to 50 minutes. So 50 more minutes of running. Ward Verlinden says, if I place my treadmill at 12% incline, he needs to put the treadmill in the hospital first. That'll be all right. Yeah, instant help when you need it. It's just a case of going slowly, Ward. So you see how slowly I'm running. So although the treadmill is at 12%, I'm going very slowly. And that's the key to getting the work done. There's no need to run fast all the time. I'm working my calf muscles. I'm on the balls of my toes, my tiptoes, climbing up the hill. And we're just getting the work done nice and slowly. My avatar seems to be walking through concrete. If you're watching on YouTube, by the way, do give me a shout, say hello. Lots of chat on Facebook. Not a lot going on YouTube. Oh, okay, well, yeah, you definitely don't want to do hills if you've got a knee problem. Take it easy, yeah. So, comfortably in zone 2 still. Definitely will be getting to zone 3 by the end. .700 meters left, and then I will bump it up again to 6.5. So actually, if I keep going up half a kilometre per hour every kilometre, I'll get running. We'll get the avatar running on the 4th kilometre, or no, the 3rd kilometre, because we're only 1.5 kilometres in, aren't we, to the climbing. So by 2 kilometres will be 6.5, by 3 kilometres will be 7 kilometres an hour, and the 4th kilometre, the last kilometre of climb, we'll do it 7.5 kilometres per hour. So Vidar's gone over to YouTube. Thanks, Vidar. At least I know it's working. John Crawford. It's called a Techno Gym My Run. So it's a company called Techno Gym, and the treadmill is a My Run. It's still fairly steep, 12%. What does yours go up to, John? So another 500 metres, there's the 3.5 kilometre marker. We've done 1.5 kilometres of climbing. %22 elevation. Good grief. That is mighty impressive. I think Zwift, the maximum Zwift goes to on course is around 15 or 16%. You won't find many hills in the world where you can climb 240 meters of elevation in 1 kilometer. Amazing. 220 meters of elevation in 1 kilometer. I mean, there certainly are hills that are 22% grade, of course there are. and loads more than that. You won't find me running up many of them though. Right, heart rate 144, well into zone 3 now. Right through the middle of the volcano. Okay, 200 meters, and then we'll knock it up again slightly faster. Still won't get the avatar running though. Vidar. Well, it depends. The treadmill, this treadmill is fairly good. It's difficult to say, you know, and I try now these days not to worry about it too much. You'll never be absolutely certain at what speed you are running on a treadmill, because there are so many variables. So we can say that we are going at approximately 6 kilometers per hour. The Stride footpod will always measure it slightly slower. The Run Smart treadmill sensor tends to measure a bit quick. Although I'm yet to actually test it out for myself. I have one, so I should get around to fitting it soon. Right, so not far off now. 4 kilometers done complete in total. 2 kilometers of climbing. So we're going to knock it up now to 6.5 kilometers per hour. We're speeding up a little bit for another kilometer. And that brings the time down to 36 minutes. 36 minutes more of running. It will be less than that because we are going to speed up. We're only getting faster. And of course, we'll get faster still for the last kilometre because that will be on the flat. Good morning, Darren. Hope you're well. So we're back on the climbing. Doing 500 metres of climbing this morning. Even though we're doing a flat route, so hoping to get the chili pepper badge today. If you look in the top left of the screen, you might just be able to make out, I know it's quite small because I've got the main camera, hello camera 2, but it says minus 3%, so the actual grade of the course is minus 3%, minus 2% now. Okay, John Crawford. Right, so my treadmill goes up to 20 kilometers an hour in speed. So I can go as fast as 20 kilometers per hour. But in terms of elevation, like the level, the gradient that you can go up, 12% is what I have. So I don't know what you will have on yours, in terms of like how the numbers are displayed, and you know, look in the manual and see what it says if you've still got the manual. Heart rate is 145. Still in zone 3. We've done 4.25 kilometers in total. We're doing 8 kilometers altogether, and 5 kilometers in the middle of that are climbing. So hoping to do 500 meters of climb by the end of the session. Could well be Ward. So Ward is saying that he's having an appointment to look at his running style because he's thinking that perhaps the problem with his knee is as a result of bad shoes or his running style. He needs some shoes that suit his running style. So some people get shoes because they under or over pronate, so their foot rocks left or right or in or out when they place it on the ground, and that can cause injury. And I tend to agree that I think my ankle problem has been caused by some shoes. So coming up to 4.5 kilometers, there's the bouncing marker ahead. .500 meters to go, and then we will bump up the speed again. Both of us, Ward. Hope yours gets fixed and mine. Mine isn't causing me too many problems. So there in the distance is the next kilometre marker. Still got well over 400 metres to go to get to it though. Hi Darren. The Achilles is okay. It is a little better. It's causing me less initial pain when I start running. So a couple of weeks ago, when I started running, it would give me quite a lot of intense pain until I eased up and until I got into the run, and then it would ease up. But now the aching is still there, but when I start running, I'm not getting that intense pain. So I think that means it's better than it was. But it's still there. It's been there for a long time now. I don't think it's causing me much of an issue. But we'll find out, won't we, in about 3 weeks' time, when I try and run 128 kilometres. If I don't make it, we'll know why. So when we hit 5 kilometers total, we'll push the speed up to 7 kilometers an hour. Finally, we'll get our avatar running. So we'll do another kilometer there. That'll get us to 500 meters of climbing. But I think we'll do another kilometer of climbing after that. Thanks, Darren. 5 to 6 months. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I've never really had tendonitis before, so it's not something I know anything about, really. So yeah, 7 kilometers an hour, we'll get the avatar running. We'll do another kilometer at that speed. And then I think we'll do one more kilometer of climbing at 7.5. See how that goes. And then the last kilometer, we'll drop it back down and jog out on the flat. Okay, thank you, Darren. So I'll just, as long as it's not too sore, I will carry on training as normal, and hopefully it'll just heal itself up in the next few months. Hopefully I can get through Trans Gran Canaria. We'll see what happens. I really don't want a load of DNFs again this year. I had 4 DNFs last year, and that really was annoying, so we'll try hard not to have, well, you can't guarantee anything, can you? But I don't want any DNFs this year. Right, here we go then. Let's get a bit faster. 5 kilometers done, 2 more of climbing to go. Up to 7 kilometers an hour now, and we have a runner on the screen. 25 minutes according to my timer. That's 25 minutes left to run, but it won't be quite that much. Heart rate is comfortable. Legs are okay. Heart rate 146 in fat burning yellow zone 3. There is an update coming soon, Darren. And it will have something very useful for training in it. That's the most I can say without getting told off. Work that out for yourself. But we're nowhere near solving the timing and distance bug, which is a very annoying little problem. Thanks, Darren, very kind of you to say so. Right, 5.25 kilometers done. 23 minutes of running to go. Heart rate slowly creeping up now, 149 BPM. So after this kilometer, we'll bump it up one more time and keep the elevation up there. And we might reach about 600 meters of climbing by the end of it. And then we'll have 1 kilometer of flat recovery. Very, very, very annoying, Darren. Yes. And you know, I'm not picky about these things. They don't really worry me. But even for me, it's a bit annoying. I can imagine for some people who do a lot of their work on the treadmill and do a lot of races on Zwift, I imagine it's particularly annoying. Oh, well done, Andrew. That's the goal. If you run any event where there's a pace spot, the idea is to stay with that pace spot all the way. So well done. Right, there's 5.5 kilometres. 21 minutes left of running. Heart rate 152. We are going to finish the chili pepper route today. So after that, after I finish chili pepper, I'll have 4 more running badges left to collect. And there's the kilometre marker in the distance there, look, 400 metres away. So after that, one more effort. We'll bump the treadmill up a bit faster. And we'll do one more tough kilometre of climbing. Still on the balls of the toes, balls of the feet. Working the calf muscles, getting those calf muscles built up for the climbing that we've got to do in Trans-Gran Canaria in about 3 weeks' time. Maybe 3 or 4 weeks' time. Sometimes, Darren, you need to go further than you think to get them. Sometimes you get back to where you started and it doesn't give you the badge and you have to run, 200 or 300 meters further on. Sometimes, of course, it could just be a bug, I guess. Right, that's the Italian village. Yeah, far away, Darren. Tell me about it. How did it go? Well, I saw your time. Wasn't your time about 1:20? So nearly there, nearly at 6 kilometres total. 2 kilometres left to do after this. There it is in the distance, look, 150 metres away. (1:18:39), wow. Impressive stuff. 12% elevation, guys, there we go. Currently running at 7 kilometres per hour. And heart rate of 146, so keeping it nicely in zone 3. Let's see what happens for this last push, last kilometre at 7.5 kilometers per hour. Still very slow, but we're not worried about speed. We just want to work the legs, work the calf muscles. Okay, so Darren says after the Media Maratona half marathon in Valencia at the end of October, he wanted to do an experiment. So what was your experiment, Darren? Okay, here we go for 1 more kilometre of climbing. 7.5 kilometers per hour. "15 minutes of running left. So we're now running at 8 minutes per kilometre. 8 minutes per kilometre. So Darren's experiment was that he wanted to do all his training for the Seville half marathon on the treadmill. So that's what he did, and he went with no expectations, and he managed to do 1:18:39. So treadmill training can work. It does work. Kato, hello there, buddy. Thank you. If you've been giving me ride-ons, by the way, thank you very much. I can't see them. Sometimes we get these bugs where you can't see the ride-ons dropping. So I'm sure some of you have been giving me a ride-on. I just can't see it. So Darren was a minute faster in Seville than he was in Valencia. Great work, Darren. Good job. And Darren's 1:18:39 is 7 minutes quicker than my half marathon PB, which is 1:25:39 or 40. Very close to that. 1:39. 1:25:39, I think. Okay. Just over 700 meters to go of climbing. 13 minutes of running. Past the fountain. When we get to 7 kilometers done, we'll drop the elevation back down and we'll just jog in 1 more kilometer to get the chili pepper route badge. Right, heart rate has just dipped into zone 4 there quickly. "600 meters to go, past the waterfall." So if you're watching this, Darren Van Dit will be going live in about an hour's time for his session. So if you want to watch Darren streaming, check out his live stream. Ward says, I'm just a beginner, I feel more like a rock than rocking it. I'm sure you're doing great, Ward. We've all got to start somewhere. So we're getting through it. 300 calories burned, 400 meters to go of climbing, 11 minutes of running left. So you can see on the top right, the elevation of the Zwift course is 3%. I'm at 12% elevation. So for every kilometre I do, I climb 120 metres into the sky. 300 metres left. And Ward says he just loves to see other people doing the hard work. Yeah, I know about that. I spent the whole weekend watching other people work hard. Right, zone 4 now. Heart rate 158, 159. But we're nearly there. We've done 1 hour. We've got about 9 minutes to go. $150 meters. And then after that, we'll just jog out 1 kilometer on the flat to get the chili pepper badge. Darren definitely leaves it all out there. So getting into the end of the climbing now. Nearly there. Enjoy, Ward. Have a good one. And there we go, there's 7 kilometers done. 5 kilometers of climbing completed. Let's just do another 100 meters. All right, there we go. So bringing the elevation right down to 0 now. Okay, so total elevation should be between 500 and 600 meters. So I think it should be close to 600 meters now. Okay, so all that remains to do is to run 5 more minutes and get the chili pepper badge. Oh, that's great of you to say so, Ward. That's what we want to do. We just want to get people running, encourage people to get out there, whether it's indoors on the treadmill or outdoors, just to get running again, get fit, get healthy. So in about 4 minutes, we should see that achievement banner come up for the chili pepper route. Could do, I suppose. I've done it before though, Kato, with full elevation. Took a long time. It's a big hill. So Ward says, now get me to stop smoking. I can't do that. Thing is, I've never smoked, so I don't know. I think it's easier sometimes for a previous smoker to help somebody to stop smoking because they know the techniques that they used. Whereas somebody like me, I've never smoked, so I don't know. I can't give you any advice. I just don't know. So that purple beacon over in the distance there, that's the finish line of the 8 kilometers, but we'll just run, obviously we'll run a little bit further to make sure that we get the badge, and I won't stop until I get the badge come up. So onto the run path, 300 metres to go, round the corner. And you can see, now that we've finished the climbing, my heart rate has come nicely back down, almost to zone 2. We're comfortably in zone 3 now. Nice and easy running. 1 minute left. And the Yonker is right behind me, super speedy Yonker. 10k time of 31:30, look. Oh, Emily Williams is on the course. Or, well, Anne E. Williams anyway. Right, so let's see what happens now. We need that badge to appear. So we'll run through the 8 kilometre marker. 50 metres left. Just passing V. Williams, E. Hill, Emily Williams as well, if that is the Emily Williams. There's 8 kilometres done. So we've completed. So now we just need to keep running to get the badge for the chili pepper route, which should appear any second. there it is, route complete, Chili Pepper. Great work, keep exploring. Chili Pepper route is done. Great stuff. And Yonka is just cruising along beside me for a minute or two. Oh, where's my mouse? Has disappeared. I can't get my mouse to work. That's annoying. Oh, there it is. So let's run to 8.5, and then we're done. Megan Smith, any advice for manually changing my AHR zones on Zwift? Megan, you just have to put your maximum heart rate in. So you can't alter your Zwift zones. They are set for you by Zwift, but they're set for you in relation to your maximum heart rate. So you need to find out as close as you can what your max HR is and put that in the settings. Right, 8.5 kilometers done. So I'm finished. Ward says, where can I see the badges to be earned? Ward, if you go into menu, I'll show you. If you hang around, wait 2 seconds and I'll show you. Right, that's me done. So Ward, if you just watch, I'll show you. So we click menu, there, and then we go over to the right where it says badges, here, click badges, and then you can scroll down through all the achievements that you can get. So if we go to running achievements, there's your running achievements, and there's your route achievements. So you can now see that I have the Chili Pepper badge from today. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 left to do to get all the badges. Megan, when you run, do you feel like you are working really, really hard, or does it feel relatively comfortable? Zone 3 should feel relatively comfortable. You should be able to talk while you're running. You should be able to feel like you can go faster. You could go harder if you had to. Zone 4 and Zone 5, then you're starting to work hard. Zone 5 you won't be able to talk. You're absolutely gasping for breath. You'll feel like you're dying. So for me, 189 BPM would be Zone 5. So do you feel like that when you're running? So, sorry, so what are you saying yes to? Sorry, I'm not sure. Because it sounds to me, I don't know, because women's heart rates are often different to men's. And also depends what age you are as well. Okay. Right, so if 189 is clearly higher than Zone 3, then you need to go into your settings and reset your maximum heart rate. So look at the screen and I'll show you. So here you can see my name at the top here, the top of the screen, and you click on that little pencil icon there. You click on that pencil icon, and down here on the right hand side in the middle is max HR. you want to make that whatever you think your max HR is going to be. So it sounds to me like if you are absolutely really, really shattered, then it sounds like your max HR is about 190. That's a guess. But if you're absolutely caning it and it says zone 3, but 189 BPM, you need to make sure that in those settings there, you have about 190, maybe 200 max. Experiment around those. I mean, you can work it out as well. Look online, look on Google, search for how to work out my max HR. But basically, if you run a 5K, a park run or something like. Are you UK based or abroad? If you're in the US, you might not know about park run, but just do a 5K as flat out and as fast as you can, and see what your max heart rate is at about 4.5 kilometers, 4.8 kilometers. See what your max heart rate is there, or right at the end, and see what it is. But I think it looks like your max heart rate is about 190, between 190 and 200 BPM. So go in the settings and do that. Right. So there we are. Right, we're done. Let's save and exit. Thanks very much, everybody, for helping me out, getting me through it. Enjoyed that. Terrific. See you all tomorrow. I think I'm going to go out with my running club, my local running club tonight. So we'll see you all tomorrow for Wednesday workout. And I may even do another hill session in the morning. So see you then. Thanks very much for joining in, and take care. See you soon. Bye-bye, everyone.